journalist. Plus new information on the crash that took his life yesterday. Good evening. I'm Dana Tyler. Bob Simon died last night in an accident on the West Side Highway. The 60 Minutes correspondent was a passenger in the back seat of a livery cab. CBS 2's Tony Aiello live at the scene with new information on the fatal crash. Tony?
Dana, the investigative focus is squarely on the livery cab driver, an immigrant from Afghanistan who recently had been living in a homeless shelter. We are told that alcohol was not a factor, but speed almost certainly was. The fateful ride ended last night when the Lincoln Town Car smashed into one of these structures intended to protect pedestrians. A key witness is 23-year-old Zach Miller of New Rochelle. He was driving a Mercedes that was brushed by the Lincoln Town Car carrying Bob Simon moments before the fatal crash. Miller spoke briefly to CBS 2 on the phone.
This is a tragic thing that happened. It's very unfortunate that this happened. And my condolences go out to his family, his friends, his loved ones.
Bob Simon was riding in a Skyline livery car driven by 44-year-old Abdul Rashid Fadahi, an immigrant from Afghanistan. Investigators say Fadahi was driving the 2010 Lincoln Town Car south on the highway when he brushed against the Mercedes, then suddenly accelerated forward and hit a pedestrian protection bollard. The Lincoln, so mangled, first responders had to cut away the roof and doors to reach Fadahi and Simon. The NYPD says Simon was not wearing a seatbelt and suffered a fatal head injury when he was violently thrown from the back seat to the front of the car. Fadahi had a valid TLC license and driver's license. He had two fairly recent traffic violation convictions, speeding in Ulster County in September and disobeying a traffic device in Manhattan in January 2014. Going back several years, he had 9 license suspensions that all have been cleared. For at least the last 4 months, he'd been living at the Help USA homeless shelter on Ward's Island. 3 sources tell CBS 2 Fadahi was injured years ago and lost the use of his left arm. The NYPD has the black box computer module from inside the Lincoln Town Car. Technicians are working to get permission to retrieve the speed and braking data from that computer module. It's interesting to note there were no skid marks left at the scene here. Tonight, the driver, Abdul Rashid Fadahi, is recovering after surgery. He suffered some broken legs. He's had some surgery today at Bellevue Hospital, and investigators hope to speak with him perhaps as soon as later tonight. Live on the West Side, Tony Aiello, CBS 2 News.